Hey guys, it's Jolene from Smith's Nature Friendly Farms. We're hanging out in the kitchen today, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to use up some onions that really didn't produce overly well, but still have some value in our cooking. I have some onions that didn't come to fruition to the full size that they possibly could be, and I'm thinking, you know, I can still use them. I could absolutely use them in cooking, but they're kind of small and I already have some big onions, so what can I do with these? So what I'm actually going to do is break out the dehydrator. And for those of you that have followed me know that I love my dehydrator. It is a great way to create kind of extended food life out of some great things from the garden when you have them in volume. So we're going to take these and actually turn them into our very own homemade onion powder. So my first step is going to be to quickly just take off all the wrappings on these and get rid of any of the bulbs that maybe aren't nice on the inside. And we're going to get them cleaned up and ready for just a quick slicing. Now I'm going to cut them in fours. I still want them big so that I can put them and grind them up a bit later, but I want them small enough that they'll actually dry out. And I might actually now go in half. There we go. So I still get, oops, we lost one. Still get chunks. Don't want them too small. We've got them all cut up and ready to go. We've got almost 2 trays full. I'm gonna let it run at 170 for 6 to 8 hours. And what I typically do is just set it overnight and then get up in the morning and shut it off. So that's what we're gonna do, and we'll come back at it tomorrow. All right, guys, the onions have been in the dehydrator overnight and they're ready for their next phase, which is to grind them up and turn them into our onion powder. So if you've seen some of my other videos on processing, you know that I have used this grinder in the past. This is a very simple coffee grinder from KitchenAid, and we're going to use it to grind up our onions to make our powder. I've used this for cornmeal. I also make paprika powder on all kinds of great powders just by using a very simple, very cheap, I think it was about 20 bucks. I'll see if I have a link and I can post it down below, but this is just a very simple coffee grinder. Here's our onions. They're nice and crispy, and we're going to put them in the grinder and grind them up. And look at that. Just beautiful. So you do end up with a few pieces in here that are a bit chunky. You can put them back in and regrind them, or it doesn't really bother me too much, but that is a beautiful fine powder and it's perfect for cooking, and you know exactly what has gone into your onions, so you're not eating anything that's strange, any preservatives that you don't know about. So I just love making my own onion powder. Look at it as it's just been ground. This smells honestly amazing. It smells so much better than regular store onion powder. I thought I'd break out the onion powder that I have from the grocery store, and I thought I would just take a smell of it and compare it to the onion powder I've just made. And my onion powder that I've just made just smells delicious in comparison to this. Now there's definite similarities, but you can't beat this fresh onion powder here. But what was really interesting is taking a look at the label on this, and you can tell where this likely has come from, but it says may contain traces of milk, eggs, wheat, and soy. There's none of that in this. This is perfection. Nothing in there that I don't know about. So this is why I love making my own powders and grinding up my own materials for cooking. I think it's best. So you can store your onion powder in a lot of different things, but one of them that you can do is just like a Ziploc bag if you need it, or use a glass jar and, you know, a standard jar lid and ring to put it in there, because it's dried, so it doesn't need to be sealed or anything like that. Although you do want to keep moisture out. The big thing with anything that's dried is to try and avoid moisture and sunlight. So if you're going to store it in a jar like this that's clear, I'd put it in the cupboards where it's dark so that it doesn't have any light. It's the same thing we do when we're trying to store tea. You want to make sure that your tea leaves are kept in the dark and not in the sun. So good way to do it is in a jar, nice and sealed, and in the dark. All right, so that's another thing you can take off the list. You can grow it in your garden, process it in your home, and put it in your cupboards so you've done it yourself. You never have to buy it again. Hope that was helpful, guys. Be friendly, be kind.